you want about anything, and I'm pretty open and honest unless I get the, don't answer that, I'll answer anything. And you know, I'm really enjoying this crowd, so I'm hoping somebody has a random question to ask me, because it's much easier to answer questions than just to stand up here. And huge difference. We built over a dozen schools. We saw little girls that we had seen in 2006 actually taken away from their hostile families or their living areas and put into a place where they could develop into, okay, you're going to go to school and you've got a new boarding house, let's say, and put into a more leadership role style when they were there. It was absolutely fantastic. Communities had fired is the best word that I can think of, gotten rid of their head guys that were Taliban, like towards the Taliban, and put in a new mayor that just wanted to help the people and wanted to help that village and wanted to see the building and the good of it. And it was mind-blowing. More roads, more fields, more agriculture, honestly, more smiles, more happy times. It really was. Right? So we believe in the cause, and that's why we're there. But if you look at the pros and the cons, specifically at the Afghan mission, if you take 2006 compared to 2008, because I was there both times, 2006 is when the war started, when they actually came after us full force and said, we want to fight. Canada stood up and said, whoa, Canada's peacekeeping. We build stuff, we help people, we don't know if Canadian soldiers can fight. And they said, okay, let them fight, let's see. Let the dogs go and let's see what they can do. And Canada went out there and we held our own, and the United States will swear to you anytime that they will fight next to us anywhere in the world, because Canada's smart. We know how to use our people, we know how to use our resources, we know what we're there to do, and we're going to get the job done to the best and safest of our abilities. If you look at 2006 and you look at 2008, you've got the good 2008 where you got your schools are built, and you know what, your villages are stronger. Your women are working, the election process is great, you can actually trust, you can see the trust and the build in there. However, with that comes a lot more bigger bombs, more guns, more dirty attacks, because they know that when Canada stands with everybody else, they're not going to beat us fair. So they've progressed. So with the good comes the bad, but we're there to take it. Personally, 2 of my friends, I personally felt 3 of my brothers die in my arms. I had to call some families and say, you know, I'm really sorry. I think one of the worst things is delivering a letter to a mother or a wife saying, you know what, I really didn't want to have to do this, but this was written and this was for you. And it is absolutely one of the worst things ever. My environment right now, as an infanteer, my job description is to close with and destroy the enemy. That is what I do. And that's hard for people to understand what exactly that means. Close with and destroy the enemy using whatever means possible. So if you tell me there's enemy and there's bad guys in Afghanistan, I'm going to go to Afghanistan. And I'm going to get rid of the bad guys because that's what I do. I work with the female to male ratio in my job. Any given time, I will work with 1,000 men and myself. I will be the only female out there.
And how is that?
Yeah, how is that?
Do you know what? It's getting better now because we incorporate a lot of engineers and medics, and you will see more females in the engineer trade and in the medic trade. So when we go do one big mission and you pull out 1,000 infantrymen, I might be the only woman there. But then there might be 5 female engineers, and it's funny because girls flock together because we see each other and you kind of wave from you don't even know who each other are. You're just like, yeah, another girl. Hey, how's it going? And it's one of those, you know, it's an unwritten rule, but we're nice. That's what girls do. It's unique.
Do you feel you always have to prove yourself?
Do you know what? Yes, absolutely. You know, I've been in the military now. This is my 11th year, and I've done numerous things. I've gone places and seen things people probably can't even imagine. And still now, I'm the first female sergeant in the Canadian history, and I'm working at a school in Oromocto, teaching the new young officers that want to be officers in the Canadian Forces how to do that properly. So I test them to see if they can stand all the challenges, and just little ones, like I'm going to bring you out in the woods and I'm going to make you walk for 8 kilometers. Can you make it? Are you strong enough? Do you have enough fortitude to do that?
But a lot of people can do that, but can they do what you can do?
Do you know what? That's just it. A lot of people think, oh, she's just a girl. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So every day I go to work, not to prove myself. I go to work to be the best person that I can be. I go to work to do the best job that I can do in my job. And others will notice, because they always notice. Because the first thing when I came here, it was a new school for me, I'm a new staff here. They're like, oh, Sgt LeBlanc, who is he? Automatically, infantry sergeant, who is he? She is, you know. And then when I get there, they're like, oh, great. Can she carry 180 pounds on her back for 3 hours? Yes, I can. Can she lift a guy when he breaks his leg? Yeah, I can. Can she run? Yeah, probably faster than most of the guys. But I've trained over the years to do my job to the best of my ability. And even though now, like you said, how is it? Through my whole entire career, I've had to prove myself. But once you get in that new place and you do prove yourself, it's like having a family, because the guys are like brothers, so that word spreads like wildfire. Hey, leave LeBlanc alone, she's good to go. Don't worry about it, she can hold her own.
Well, you can see that in the video.
Yeah.
Do you know what? Yeah, and I mean, those guys, I've worked with those guys for the last 2 years now, and I mean, I'd do anything for them. Obviously, it's a pretty close family. But it is difficult, being one of the only women. It is very difficult. Absolutely serious. I came home in 2006, and our way of dealing was write down your 5 worst things and give them to 3 or 5 people that you love the most. So give them to your family. Write them down, because it's sometimes hard to say things out loud. Write them down, give them to your family. That way they know what you're dealing with, and if you're being kind of odd or whatever, they can handle it. I had nightmares for almost a solid year. I still wake up in the middle of the night with nightmares, but I also have experiences that valid those nightmares. In 2006, we went out on a patrol. It ended up lasting 18 hours. Started early in the morning, didn't finish till late at night. We were driving down a road. We got out to walk, so only the drivers were in the vehicles. And there was 7 vehicles, really close, in a really confined spot. The Taliban attacked from 3 different sides. Blew a bomb through my vehicle, shredded the legs of my interpreter, cut off both his legs right below the knee. I had to drag him to a ditch and apply some tourniquets on his legs. And then I had to put him in a vehicle, and the medic on scene gave him morphine. And we had to keep fighting for another 5 hours to get him to a place where we could put him on a helicopter so we could get him home. So I spent not only 5 hours, I spent the next 3 days without a change of clothes, because my bag was blown up in the vehicle and everything caught on fire. I spent 3 days blood soaked from my interpreter's blood. And all the guys wanted to do was give me a toothbrush, let me use their underwear, and give me another shirt, because it's like brothers. So you're going to come home and you're going to remember that, but everybody's going to deal with it different. And I truly believe that people who have good family and good friends will get over it easier, because we do speak about it. I have no shame or nothing to hide from anybody, and if people do ask, I will tell them. It's harder for people to ask me than it is for me to say it. But every day I wake up and I'm thankful that I actually have another day.